I think it's been shown time and time again that we do not have a weight loss problem. We have a problem with people's ability to actually maintain their fat loss results. There are a couple of reasons why most people can't seem to maintain the results. But first, before we get into those reasons, let's discuss a couple of pretty scary stats. 75% of people are likely to put on all of the fat that they've lost within 3 years. 85% of people are more likely to put on the fat that they've lost within 2 years. 95% of people are likely to put the fat they've lost back on within just 1 year. So clearly people don't have a problem losing weight, it's maintaining those weight loss results. Reason number 1, people are getting way too hung up on the scale. Let's elaborate, shall we? Here we have a graph where we have 2 variables. The black line here is our expectations. The green line here is the actual results. So say we have 200 pounds, we currently weigh, and our goal weight is 120 pounds. Over time, we start to lose weight and we expect the scale to be linear. We're happy with the results. But what actually happens is day-to-day fluctuations on the scale. The scale will go up and down every single day for various reasons. And even though our end result can typically be the same, we're not usually happy with that because of the insane amount of fluctuations that we've seen throughout the entire process. So why does the scale fluctuate every single day? There are actually several reasons why you will see day-to-day fluctuations in the scale. Number 1 is the amount of carbs that you are consuming. Each gram of carb storage causes your body to retain between 3 to 4 times that amount in water. The combination of increased carbohydrates and the water bound to each of these causes your body weight to increase. So if you're eating in a normal amount of carbs that your body is not used to, you're gonna naturally retain some water. Reason number 2 is sodium. If you have an abnormal amount of sodium in one day that you normally don't have, again, your body is gonna retain more water. There's a hormone called aldosterone. More aldosterone equals more water retention. When you keep sodium low, the body increases production of aldosterone. So with already high levels of aldosterone coupled with a flood of sodium, the body holds water like crazy. Reason number 3, stress and sleep. People don't realize that the amount of stress and lack of sleep that we put on our body can really cause us to hold weight. Reason number 4, alcohol. Yes, alcohol causes scale weight fluctuations. It may be in the direction that you're hoping for. Alcohol typically dehydrates you, so it's typical to see a drop in the scale the next day. For every 200 milliliters of beer consumed, the average person can release 320 milliliters of urine. Reason number 5, women, you know this one, our menstrual cycles. It causes us to hold water and bloat like crazy. And reason number 6, for no reason at all. You can analyze and try to pinpoint the reason as best as you can, but sometimes there is no reason. As long as the scale weight is lower than the amount that you started at, who really cares what is going on in between? Day-to-day fluctuations are normal. It's something that we need to be more willing to accept as a society. Reason number 2, in regards to why we can't maintain our fat loss results. People's inability to yo-yo diet as soon as they've reached their fat loss results. Let's elaborate, shall we? This is typically what happens to the average person on a fat loss journey. Here we have their calories going down. This black line here represents their body weight. As their calories go down, naturally their body weight's gonna go down over time. Eventually, they're gonna get down to their goal weight, which they're happy about. As soon as they get down to their goal weight, what do most people do? They start eating more food dramatically right away. As soon as they start eating more, their body weight soon follows. What people fail to realize is that as their body weight's gone down with their calories, so is their metabolic rate. So as soon as they start to incorporate more food rapidly, their metabolic rate actually doesn't have time to catch up with their caloric intake. This creates what is known as an energy gap. This energy gap creates a bunch of negative adaptations that causes people to gain weight as soon as they're done their dieting phase. But what do most people do? Their body weight goes up, and versus giving their metabolism time to catch back up, they start dieting again. So they drop their calories as an attempt to lose more weight, and eventually they'll get back down to their body weight. But as you'll see this time, this line is a lot lower than it was the first time. What this means is they had to diet on fewer calories in order to get back to their original body weight that they originally achieved. Say the first time they were able to get down to their ideal body weight by consuming 1,200 calories. The second time they had to diet down a little bit more aggressively. This is supposed to be 900, not 1,900. But the second time they had to actually diet down using 900 calories versus the 1,200 in order to get back down to this 120 pounds. Instead of trying to fix these negative adaptations that have occurred from dieting 2 times in a row, we don't realize that the negative adaptations that have occurred. So what do? We go back to our old ways and we start eating all the food that we want again. Typically, we'll actually overshoot our original body fat to the point where we weighed more than we did originally from the very first time that we started to diet. And as you can see, this energy gap is even larger this time around. But again, The average person, they'll just continue to repeat the cycle over and over again, which creates an even larger energy gap over and over again, making it almost near impossible to actually start to lose weight. So what can we do to fix this? This is how the ideal dieting cycle should go for most people. Most people get the dieting phase right. There's not a problem there. The problem is, what do we do after we are done dieting? So over time, we reduce our calories in order for us to lose the weight that we want. We get down to our ideal physique. Now this is where it's even more important than the dieting phase. We're happy, we've achieved our dream body physique, and now we're ready to actually maintain those results. Instead of reverting back to our old ways, we gotta remember that as we've dropped weight, our metabolic rate has gone down as well, meaning that we have to give it time to catch up. So in order to do that, instead of going back to our old ways, we're actually gonna increase our calories slowly over time. Yes, you will see the scale go back up, but it's gonna be very minimal, and eventually you're gonna find that you're gonna be able to maintain weight. It might be a little bit higher than your ideal body weight, but it will be a lot lower than your original body weight. And you will notice as you increase your calories slowly after the dieting phase, this energy gap is no longer as large. Your metabolism eventually starts to speed up. It catches up to your caloric intake, which is why you will eventually start to maintain weight eating more calories. You won't have developed any of these negative adaptations that we discussed to the point where you aren't able to actually lose the weight that you were looking for. A lot of people actually struggle with this post-dieting phase, but this part is the most important part if you're hoping to actually maintain those results. So what do you have to do in order to be successful with this part of the phase? It's very simple, quite actually, and you guys may think that it's cliche, but it really isn't if you actually apply these concepts. Number one, you need to be consistent. After the dieting phase, it can become very easy to want to not track as accurately as you were when you were dieting, which is totally okay. Flexibility is important, but at the same time, you got to ask yourself how long and how much you really want these results to maintain. So if you actually want to maintain these results, make sure that you are consistently tracking as best as you can and as accurate as you can. Number two, you need to be patient. A lot of people think that as soon as they're done dieting, that the hard work is over, but it's only just begun. You have to implement a successful post-dieting phase, and you have to do that by being patient. Yes, you will see the scale go up, but you need to relax and just remember that this is part of the process. So be patient. And lastly, choose a program you can stick to forever. You can count your macros, you can clean eat, you can be gluten-free, you can do ketosis. It doesn't matter. As long as you pick something that's sustainable for you, as long as you make sure that you can pick a program that you can adhere to long-term, still live your life, be flexible, and have balance, you need to make sure that you pick a program that is right for you.